has to start with the person. They have to begin to say, I'm going to go for win-win with people. One man said to me, Stephen, come on. I mean, the world isn't like that. I know this sounds good, but really, this is so idealistic, and you know, I like it, but it's really not like that. I said, well, why don't you go for win-lose? He said, well, most of the time we do. Or lose-win. Sometimes we have to do that, but it is a competitive world. It isn't a cooperative world. I mean, I think you're living too much in the ivory tower of theory and abstraction. I said, well, I better listen to you a little more. Okay, he said, I'll tell you. He said, we tried to go for win-win. We listened to your counsel and tried to practice it. In fact, just recently, we were renegotiating our lease arrangements with the mall operators and owners. And we had a win-win attitude. We were open, we were conciliatory. They saw that as weakness, as softness, and they moved in, and they took us to the cleaners. Oh, why did you go for lose-win? We didn't. We went for win-win. I thought you said they took you to the cleaners. Yeah, they did. In other words, you lost, and they won. That's right. Well, what's that called? And it was if lights went on. I did. I went for lose-win. I didn't go for win-win. Lose-win is not win-win at all. See, people who think in dichotomies believe that lose-win, being nice, being soft, is win-win. My friends, win-win is so much tougher than win-lose. Why? In the early stages, you have to be tough on yourself to cultivate the empathy, the sensitivity, the openness, the consideration, at the same time, to not capitulate. What have we been calling that balance of courage and consideration? Maturity. And what is maturity a product of? Integrity. Being principle-centered, integrated around principles. Can you see why win-win is the fourth habit, not the first or the second? Can you see why it follows self-mastery? Win-win means we consent together. If you agree to disagree, is that not a win-win situation? We call it no deal. We agree to disagree agreeably. It's not going to work out. We won't hire you. You don't want to join us. You fully understand what expectations are. We understand what your needs and expectations are, and you can see that we're going in different directions. Let's agree to disagree agreeably. I would put no deal as one of the transactional options. We transacted. No deal on this one. Maybe we can come together at a later time. We transacted, see? The problem is, many situations, you don't have those options. It's hard to go for no deal with a child. It's hard to go for no deal with an employee who's been there for, say, 15 years. That would be essentially win-lose to the employee, just to go for no deal. Now, if you could come up with a no-deal option that has the elements of win-win in it when the separation takes place, so that the person feels like that was an honest and equitable and fair settlement, and you feel the same way, then that is carrying no deal in a situation where you're locked in without any other options to a successful win-win conclusion. I'm telling you, no deal is one of the most liberating options imaginable. I'll tell you why. Look, let's say I'm trying to interact with somebody on a very tough situation. Say this gentleman here. And I say to him, right up front, if we can't work this out, you know, maybe we should work out the best no-deal arrangement possible. But I really want to go for win-win. Let me listen to you first. I need to understand how you see it. I then want to be understood. I see. Well, no deal's always an option. I can be very open. I don't have to manipulate. You'll have a quality of a relationship. You'll have, hopefully, a synergistic solution to problems. The spirit of consensus in the culture. The spirit of synergy and decision. That's the end in mind. It's not that I got my way or he got his way. Now, if I'm deeply committed to win-win or no deal, I can be so open and honest, I don't have to have hidden negotiation techniques. I can just say, that's not a win as I see it, but I need to understand more. Why it's such a win? I see. Then he tries to understand me, and as we interact back and forth, something dynamic happens that is absolutely magical in its effect upon the human spirit. Gradually, we conclude, no deal is best. Or, we've come up with something that is so much better than what you and I initially thought of.